So we got to go ahead and talk about this whole Joy Reid situation and how people kind of weirdly punching down about this whole thing and kind of making jokes and getting their jokes off, all because they don't like what she said on TV. But if you don't know, there was a report that came out, and the people who was affected by it, MSNBC, found out as soon as that report went out, as soon as it made airways, that's the same time that they found out you no longer are allowed to work here.
Many people, but I've been through every emotion from, anger, rage, disappointment, hurt, feeling that, guilt, that I let my team lose their jobs. But in the end, where I really land and where I've landed on today is just gratitude, just pure gratitude. And gratitude, not just because people would take the time to get on a call like this, or to take care of me, but also that my show had value, and that that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I try not to cry on TV. And this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And that it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues.
And of course, you can tell by her reaction, she was caught by surprise. She probably didn't expect to be fired at all. As for the people who was out here making jokes, today is Joy Reid, tomorrow it's gonna be your sorry ass. And furthermore, it's even people with platforms who are trying to make light of the situation, like, oh, haha, you ain't got a job. Well, guess what? YouTube can always cut your damn lights off. Twitch could also cut your damn lights off. Then what? Then what? What's going to happen then? You have to go back out into the real world, a world you fucking hate, a world that every American, average American, fucking hates. You think people want to go to work at a job that they fucking hate when they want to sit at home, make videos, stream? But sometimes in life, we got to do what we got to do until that thing we're passionate about and we like doing pays off. Until that pays our bills, we stay 10 toes down. But even while we stay 10 toes down, we watch what we say, how we say it, to make sure we don't get in trouble with our day job. And some of y'all with platforms, y'all don't really care enough about the platform you got. Oh, so what? I'll just make another one. Yeah. What if you can't make another one? What if the support ain't there? What if you have to go back to work? Then what? Are you still not going to be looking at yourself in the mirror and be like, maybe I shouldn't have said these things. Maybe I shouldn't have did X, Y, Z. Maybe I shouldn't have been gloating or seemed happy at the thought of somebody losing their job. But it also highlights something. It also highlights the importance of having your own shit. Because depending on who you work for, those people ain't going to give a fuck about you. Because eventually, by 2027, it's been reported multiple times that they expect the workforce to be at least almost half autonomous, meaning they ain't gonna need us. It's like the scene from the live action Willy Wonka movie back in the day, where eventually the guy who worked at the toothbrush factory got replaced by a bot. Then he ain't had nothing to show for it. Absolutely nothing. And granted, we've seen some failures with that in that respect, where even the first ever fully autonomous McDonald's, it came and went, even though it was a cool idea on paper, but it was the only one in existence in the United States before they stopped funding it and shut it down. Like, even in my city, like, there is for the first time ever, a fully autonomous convenience store drive-through, meaning you can pull up there, order something like a quick snack for the road or whatever, or like a meal you can take home and warm up. There may end up being 500 or 1,000 more in the US. And then it's gonna get to a point where it accelerates, there's a boom, and they're not gonna need y'all no more. They're not gonna need us. And what we gonna do? We either going to sit behind a machine, press a couple buttons all day, or they're going to send us home. And depending on the company you work for, when it comes to platforms like YouTube and Twitch, for example, or one or the other, typically, for the most part, they're not going to care of what you say or do. But it would have to involve you saying something either very negative specifically about the company you work for, or you saying something derogatory about a group of people for them to even want to or think about take action. But there's the third one, and that is jealousy. Either the people in power that confront you in an office space, they're jealous of what you built. So they want to get rid of you, and they want to decorate it, make it look like that you're in the wrong, even though you're not. And then ultimately they'll hit you with an ultimatum. It's either us or them. You can't do both. But the silver lining to that is they're going to wait until the thing you're building becomes a threat to their own business. And that's when they'll hit you with the okie doke. Now again, not all companies are like this. Some are very gracious, others understand, but everybody not the same. It just depends on who you work for and what type of content you're putting out. 9 times out of 10, if they confront you over your content, it's either ticking one of those 3 boxes, people. And sometimes it is that third box. It don't even come from corporate. It just comes from them and their hurt feelings because they're jealous because you built something that they couldn't. At the end of the day, I don't care what Joy Reid's opinions were. Her opinions were not that flagrant for me or anybody else to be like, oh, you deserve to lose everything you built. Because the people who think and say that, it's going to be you tomorrow. Karma's one hell of a bitch. So you better be careful. Because today it's Joy, tomorrow it's you. And same goes for the people with platforms that's making fun of it. It makes you look dumber. Like boo-boo the fool. As if you can't lose everything and be forced to go back to work at a place you can't stand. So y'all need to be very careful what y'all say and do, because there's always that boomerang effect you got to watch out for. But with that being said, y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Till next time, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.